Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. So today we're going to talk about teams. And when you think about teams, what are some of the greatest teams that you think about? Well, obviously in the United States, we've recently had a Super Bowl win by the Patriots. And so, of course, that was teamwork. When you think about, let's just think about the medical industry and thinking about a team in a surgery room. Can you imagine the team working together when that works? Everybody knows what they're doing in the flow, especially when you're under pressure and needing to get something done at the moment, just as the football team did at the last minute. Think about other teams. Think about teams of architecture, design, working with their clients and collaborating maybe on an urban development or a school or something in the community that they're building. Lots of teams need to come together, and teams of people who do what they do best. So teams, when we think about teams, what makes the best team? So when I do consulting, a lot of times we spend time thinking about teams and strengths, and I'll share with them a matrix of their talent. And they'll say, but what's the best team to have? And I'll step back and say, well, first we have to define why we're a team. What's the purpose of the team? Why do we exist? What's the mission? What's the common goal that we're working to accomplish? That's the first thing that matters when you think about a team, because it depends on what you're looking for and what that team is supposed to accomplish to determine what's the best team. We talk today about diversity, and we talk about we need a diverse team. Well, what does that really mean? Does diversity mean male, female? Does it mean gender? Does it mean color? Does it mean talent? What does that mean? It could be all of the above. But one thing we do sometimes fail to remember is diversity and perception around talent. When we think about the diversity of talent, talent is important to think about what are we working to accomplish. So let's think about that team of individuals when you're bringing a team together saying, what are we working to accomplish? Let's say it's a nonprofit organization and they're working to accomplish a fundraising goal. When we look at the team, we really have to look at, we're running an event. What does that event look like? Well, we need people to do all the arranging and the details. We need somebody to determine the strategy of what we're here to do. We need somebody to really build the relationships and have the relationships to be able to call people and ask for their help. We need people who can ask for the ask for the funds and for the donations. And we need people just to make it happen and make sure all the behind the scenes details are taken care of. Everything is needed. And so when we think about well-roundedness, like we talked last week, can anybody do everything? Some people can do a lot of things, but it's really difficult to have one individual be able to do everything and do it well and world-class. So we think about world-class performing teams. There has to be a connection. There has to be great talent working in all the areas. It has to be defined in terms of what we're looking for. So that team that ran that nonprofit event were having some challenges at one point in time. So we really had to think about, let's step back. Let's again remember why we're here. What's our purpose? And then defining our roles. I think that understanding the purpose, defining the roles, making sure that we have a diverse team of talent comes together is important. Let's think about that team who's doing the architecture and design piece. When we think about the design process, we have that front-end planning, a visioning of what are they looking for to build that new school? What does that look like? What are we here to do? Because these are long-range projects that go for a really, really, really long time. Then we think about, making sure we have all the buy-in and that, you have campaigns and you have funding, and all those things need to be done on the front end. What is that knowledge base? What is that experience that people bring? So it goes back to that knowledge, experience, talent, everything that we need to bring during the different parts of the process. Because then we have the visioning, we have fundraising, we have everybody on board, then we have to start the building. And so we have to do all the documents, we have to get everything taken care of through that process. And that goes on for a really, really, really long time. And there's lots of different things that need to happen. But sometimes the same people who are on the front end of that visioning definitely aren't the same people who are doing the work, because that takes different talent. So, and we have to maintain relationships throughout this whole process, because sometimes timelines change. Sometimes we have different things that happen. Sometimes materials shift, prices change, whatever it might be. There's different talents for different things. So when we think about teams, we have to think about the well-rounded nature of what exists within the talent of the teams. So for Positive Charge this week, I want you to think about, what does a team mean to you? Second, what kind of teams are you on? And 3, what is your role in that team? Defining teams is important, and teamwork is important because we're all better together. But first we have to define again, what is the mission of what we're here to do? 2, what are the defined roles? And 3, what's your role in that team? Thanks for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.